Okay, now let's come to our topic, positive pay system. Positive pay system. Now if we talk about earlier system, so suppose this is a check and here is Mr. X and here is Mr. Y. Mr. X is having account in SBI and Mr. Y is having account in HDFC. Now firstly we will see the case of earlier. What happens earlier and what happens now. We'll just see a comparative study. Earlier what happens when Mr. X is drawing a check to Mr. Y of rupees 10,000. Then what happens? Mr. Y will take the check. He will submit this check in his own bank, HDFC. Now HDFC will see and send this check to clearing house. Clearing house will ask SBI that is it a correct or not. SBI will say yes, it is correct. You can pay the amount to Mr. Y. So the amount will be transferred. So this was a hectic and a time taking process. Okay, this was a time taking process. So these were all before 2010. These things happens in clearing a check. But now what happens after 2010? CTS, check truncation system, came. What happens in this? You have already studied about check truncation system in the last video. What happens in this? In this system, images and magnetic ink character are recognized, that is MICR data are captured at the bank, collecting and transmitted electronically. Fine. So here work is done electronically by capturing the MICR, that is magnetic ink character recognition of a check, and check is quickly cleared. Fine. So this had happened after 2010. But here is also a but. What is a but in it? After this also a lot of fraud had taken place. Like I have told you na, 10,000 to Mr. Y. But now suppose Mr. Y thought let me increase some zero. So he thought let me increase 1 0. Wait a bit. 1 0. So it became 1 lakh. Now these kind of fraud had happened. So just to reduce these fraud or to skip these fraud, RBI, Reserve Bank of India, launched positive pay system, PPS, from 1st January 2021 for checks above rupees 50,000. In India basically 20% checks are above 50,000 and 80% is less than 50,000. So in this we have in this system we have, we or the owner of the check has to inform the bank about the check number, have to send the image back and front both of check, date of issuance and other things regarding the check. So that bank is already having the information of a check that the check number this has been issued by Mr. X to Mr. Y. So bank is already having a prior information about it. So whenever the check of Mr. Y comes to bank, he will quickly just clear it. Fine. So one more thing, that is one more thing in this, customer has a choice to opt for this or not. Has a choice to have this. And if you are sending the details, then you have to send it electronically only. All the work will be hassle free. Electronic work will be more and more. So from this only we can conclude one more system which is not yet introduced, that is reverse positive pay. Suppose you have already seen bank give you information that this has your ID and your user ID has been logged in from this account. Is it you only? Fine. If not, just say yes, say no. So this kind of message just appear in your mobile sometime whenever your bank account is accessed from another device. So same kind of condition happens over here. Whenever a check comes to the bank, he will ask you that you have sent the check amounting this dated this, amount, check and check number. Are you okay to pay with it? So you will say yes, then he will pay. Otherwise it will be not paid. That's it. I hope you're clear with positive pay system. Thank you so much friends. All the best for your interview.